Ultimate Team for the last couple of years has felt very stagnant despite the fact that they're adding a bunch of new features to the game every single year. Draft, shorter foot champs, SPC improvements, and tons of minor changes as well to just kind of improve quality of life things, such as getting rid of squad fitness. But even with EA making the changes that they think are right for the community, it seems that foot reaches the there's nothing to do stage of the game quicker and quicker every year. They do manage to keep the life cycle of the game going by adding good promos that bring a lot of hype to the game and have people actually playing and crafting packs to pack these cards that are very desirable. While Ultimate Team still ultimately comes down to the games that we're playing in foot champs and div rivals and foot draft, it's very easy to say that this mode has become one that is very reliant on the menus and the content that is dropping rather than the gameplay. If you ask your friends that play Ultimate Team what excites them the most about the game, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna say it's gonna be that they pack the card instead of actually using it. And that's because year after year EA make minor change after minor change but don't change the thing that we really need to get overhauled: the gameplay. This is something that the foot community has been talking about for years. We love this game mode, we just want good gameplay with the good promos that we're already getting. Of course, we always find the fun in Ultimate Team because we have been playing it for so long, we are attached to the game mode. With EAFC 24 coming out soon, the foot community has been expecting a masterclass due to the fact that EA has clearly been holding back for quite some time. If I asked you to tell me when was the last time they made a fundamental change to the foot draft game mode, you would not be able to give me an answer. They barely changed division rivals and they barely changed foot champs, so it's very clear that EA might have been holding back all of these years. We tend to give EA the benefit of the doubt and say it was due to the negotiations that they had ongoing with FIFA in terms of the licensing, but was that really the case? Probably not. Well, today I wanted to talk about the changes that are coming to EAFC 24's Ultimate Team and how they sort of missed the mark with what could have been an amazing year for Ultimate Team. The ball was really in EA's court for what we were going to be getting. The deep dive they released pretty much highlighted all the features that we can expect coming to EAFC 24 that are 100% confirmed. This is what they are marketing to us for Ultimate Team and EAFC 24. Some of the features they're adding are definitely going to be better than others, but I cannot say that they're all going to be hits. Real quick guys, before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to do the spin for the giveaway on my previous video. Here we have the winner. It is Messy Monkey. Messy Monkey, I went ahead and left the comment on your original comment and saying that you won, so make sure you respond to that. Congratulations. Let's get into the rest of the video. First off, we have player evolutions, which in my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of other people's opinions, are a huge W. This is definitely something that the EA community has been crying out for years. The fact that we're going to be able to take our favorite player and take them from an absolute nobody in Ultimate Team to our best player in our club, most games played, most goals scored, is going to be absolutely fantastic. The card design changes over time as well, so you're going to know if someone has a 98 rated Ashley Young in their squad, you know that is 1000% their favorite player of all time. In my opinion, early on this is a W, but ultimately it really comes down to how EA really implement this feature. In the deep dive trailer that they released, they specifically state an example where upgrading a player requires 20 short passes and 2 assists for plus 10 short passing. That sounds a little bit overpowered for me. While plus 10 short passing is 1000% going to be an absolutely huge and amazing boost for the player that you want to use in your squad, I hope that they really balance out how we get the upgrades and what the upgrades actually are. At the same time, we don't want to spend countless hours for a +1 upgrade that's really just going to be meaningless. As long as the challenges aren't too hard and not too easy, this is going to be great. One thing that is concerning is that they say there's going to be a stat requirement. This might take this feature from the best thing they've ever added to the worst and most meaningless thing. If they only allow us to pick a handful of players or players that meet a certain requirement, this is an L. Let me pick who I want to pick, EA. Don't make the choice for me. If they do this, this is going to be the biggest disappointment in EAFC 24, but the time will tell. The next big feature that they are advertising in their deep dive is going to be women in foot. Now, this is a topic that I've talked about in the past. My opinion, great addition. There's no reason why they shouldn't be in the game. They don't take away anything, and they're just adding a bigger player pool for us to choose from. And if you really love women's football and you want to add a player into your team, now you can. In my opinion, it's not hurt the game at all. But what's really going to impact this addition and what's really going to determine if it was meaningful or not is going to be if they are meta and what the meta is even going to be. Adding more players for us to choose from is absolutely great. It really brought in squad making, and it really allows you to make a really unique team if you so choose to. But if the meta, like this year, comes down to just using the same exact 20 or 30 players, this is going to be pointless. And that's my biggest fear for them marketing this so hard, because they could have done so many different things and really marketed that instead. They could have changed division rivals. They could have finally changed foot draft. They could have changed the actual gameplay itself. But instead, we're getting more players, which is great. But if they don't fit the meta, it's going to be a useless addition. On the other hand, if they make the woman completely meta, then it's going to be fine. Or if they make them very usable, it will be fine. This year, they made someone like All the Way Run incredibly overpowered. I had never heard of this brother my whole life. All of a sudden, this guy's making every single weekend a living nightmare for me. They could do the same thing for the woman players that they're adding. There can be one or two woman players or woman heroes or woman icons that are going to be absolutely deadly. Time will tell again, but again, this really comes down to gameplay. So this is not the craziest addition, just adding a larger player base, but the success of this again really comes down to EA Sports and how they implement. Next thing they really marketed in the deep dive trailer that we got is going to be new heroes and icon. And again, just to piggyback off what I just said, this really comes down to what EA is planning to give us in terms of gameplay. We know they have Hypermotion 5 coming out. What does that mean? We really do not know what that means. Even if you play the beta, even if they release a demo, we will not know until day one of the game coming out, and even then they will patch the game after a couple of weeks, so time will really tell if these new heroes, these new icons, these new women players are really going to be a big addition. Yes, you may love Carlos Tevez, but if he is not usable, 99% of the player base is not going to use him. Again, we could have gotten changes to rivals, to foot draft, to SBCs, to how we get our players, something drastically different, but instead we're getting new heroes, new icons, and women in foot. If the gameplay is terrible, this will not matter. Seems like the motto for all of the changes that they're adding is going to be time will tell. Ultimately, if you watch the rest of the trailer, you'll know everything else was pretty much filler. They talked about new pack animations and things that don't really change the game fundamentally. Yes, it's cool that players are going to have playstyles. This is pretty much traits, but with a new coat of paint on it. Nothing to really get too excited for. Again, time will tell to see if the gameplay is meaningful enough for playstyles to be crucial. They did add some changes right at the end of the trailer, but again, fundamentally, will this make the player base more engaged into the game and not just the menus? Time will tell. We still don't know what's happening with rivals. We still don't know what's happening with foot champs or with foot drafts, or if that's just all going to stay the same, or the type of SBCs that we're going to get going to be the same. There's so many unanswered questions that we really don't know. And granted, again, I did mention they did provide some follow-up in their deep dive, but in my opinion, it's not enough. I know recently I've been a little bit negative about what EA might or might not give us. I did make that video about career mode that did have a little bit of a negative tone to it. Ultimately, I love this game, and so do you. If you made it this far in the video, first of all, like and subscribe, because you're real as hell, and there's more videos on the way. Second of all, you love Ultimate Team. You love FIFA, and you love football. We all just want this game to succeed. We all want to play this game. We all want to have fun. But EA seems to just make the wrong decisions time after time. Player base just wants a game that they can log into even after 5 minutes of content dropping. A lot of people wait for content to drop. They'll do the little SBC for the day, and they'll log off. EA has the potential to end that and have people playing throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the weekend, throughout the month, but they really just need to get it right with gameplay. This has become a menu simulator. If EA get this wrong, it's gonna culminate into one of the worst Ultimate Team drops we have ever seen. There's such high expectations at the moment, or at least there has been in the build up to EAFC 24. The ball is completely in EA's court. If they fail to deliver, they're just gonna lose more and more of that hardcore base that they've already been losing. Hopefully EA gets it right and they're able to build off of EAFC 24 with the games that are going to be following it. Here's to hoping that EAFC 24 has a killer Ultimate Team.